Hello and welcome to a broadcast that is produced by the Friends of Terry Virgil. I am Terry Virgil, the host of this program. And yes, this is the title of the episode. Hillary Clinton wants to have terrorists in the United States of America. Well, we know that we could say that Hillary Clinton is a liberal / Democrat. And I'm going to say slash with communist ideas and slash with socialist ideas. And here's how I could state that to be true. After listening to the news today, and it's all plastered all over news, you can't miss it, is that in Belgium, in the city of Brussels, which is the capital of the European Union, and let's put it this way. The occult group Islamic State of Muslims with the branch of ISIS, and I'm going to say with also the branch that would claim to be ISIL, if you want to be democratic or liberal about it, and I'm going to say not all Arabics though, but the Islamic State, the occult group of Islamic State, has successfully ignited at least two, possibility of a third bomb in the city of Brussels. Now, I was listening to Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton does state that we should just slap these so-called Muslims on the wrist and let them go. That's what she virtually stated. She stated that we shouldn't even interrogate them. She says that we shouldn't even come up with any kind of interrogation possibility. Just let them shut up and that's it. Well, I'm very experienced in one area and very much knowledgeable in one area. Yes, you could get a person to talk if you use things like torture. And yes, they will say anything just to get you to stop torture. But here's one other fact. You could check out their statements of fact and truth and continue to torture them. This man that they got in Belgium should be tortured. Completely tortured. Because here's why. He committed crimes against humanity. He committed crimes that are unspeakable. He believes in the occult group of being a Muslim. In other words, Hillary Clinton doesn't understand that the Muslim church, Muslim faith, Muslim organization allows them to torture people to the point where it's not going to matter. They will just behead you or burn you alive in the streets or even drown you in the sea. According to Sharia law, according to their occult group Bible called the Quran, and there's over 109 places that speak about this in the Quran. I happen to know that. I happen to be an expert. I'm also an expert in examining Sharia law. I've examined it and compared it to other types of law that are out there. Well, there has been a warning given to us human beings about, I'm going to say a little less than 2,000 years ago. And we could go back a little over 2,000 years ago when the Apostle John was sent to the island of Patmos, whereby we know he wrote we know that he wrote the book of Revelation and a few other things. We know that. That's history. I mean, even the Roman government wrote it down and made it history. But here's the thing. The European Union, which is headquarters in Brussels, in Belgium, is in the scriptures, by the way. And according to what God says, this is the most pathetic type of government around. It's called, in reality, in our terms, in layman's terms, what Hillary Clinton and every liberal Democrat and communist would love to see, and I'm not going to include the socialists here, they're going to be included yet later on, would see happen with the European Union. They would love the idea of having a European Union. God warns us about this. And he does tell us that there are going to be days of atrocities because of this thing called the European Union. And I also know this, that there are laws on the books about safe havens for these people called Islamic State of Muslims / ISIS / terrorist / Al-Qaeda / the Taliban to live in. There are safe havens in the United States of United States of America. There's even a push to have these safe havens, safe cities, such as the liberal city of Madison, Wisconsin, in the state where I live in, to allow ISIS, the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, the occult group called the Islamic State of Muslim or Muslimhood to exist so that they can terrorize the rest of the United States. And if you notice, I included the very liberal, very stupid city called Madison, Wisconsin. Yes, I don't live too far from there. I live about maybe, a stone's throw. So I do get the good insight view of what I'm seeing and the patheticness that comes from the liberals and Democrats, such as Mayor Paul Soglin. And I also see that, yes, there are groups that want to protest these so-called laws that would prohibit safe cities or safe areas. Seeing that I live a stone's throw from the very liberal Democrat idiotic city of Madison, Wisconsin, and that's just mild the way I feel about it, that means the terrorist would hit my area, first. You think I want to see my friends have their heads beheaded because of Hillary Clinton wanting to have the terrorists come into the United States of America and stay here? No, I don't. And that's why we entitled it this way. That's why I put the tags, if you want to look this program up and review what I've written about it. Yes, there is more. Yes, I'm sad that people in Belgium lost their lives. It's pathetic. As you can see, the liberals are still talking about lone wolves and stuff like that. No. It is in the Quran. Liberals and Democrats, communists, socialists, this is where I put the socialists, do not want to even think about having the whole Islamic State of Muslims, the occult group, which they are, attack the whole world. Believe it or not, people, this is a world war that's been going on since, I'm going to say around 634 AD. When an idiot by the name of Muhammad wrote the Quran And this idiot was worshiping a black rock and called the black rock Allah. Get the point? Because when you worship a phony god, such as Allah, a black rock, and this is no lie, at one time Iraq used to be 100% Christian, but then the Islamic State of, or I'm going to say it this way, the occult group, Islamic State of Muslims, decided to attack Iraq. Well, here's what they did. They beheaded people. This is in 634 AD. They beheaded people. They burnt them alive. They drowned them in the sea so that they could introduce the occult group called the Islamic State of Muslims. Okay. One nation fell to this occult group and has been we're going to say a member of the occult group since 634 AD. Let's move a little bit forward here. Let's go to Europe. Now, from 634 AD, the occult group Islamic State of Muslims almost took over Europe. And that's around between 634 AD and I'm going to say 800 AD. I'm not sure of the year. I'd have to really kind of go back because according to my sites, there are different years that they decided to go through and cut people's heads off in Europe. And they wanted to bring in the occult group and force people to be Muslims in Europe. So, if you think by every chance that this is a occult group that is peaceful, I'm going to say this much. If you think that, you are a liberal, Democrat, communist, or a socialist, and you would agree with Hillary Clinton. I'm not promoting what Donald Trump says. Waterboarding. I know all about waterboarding. I know what it is. And yes, I do believe that we should use torture on these so-called leaders of this occult group from the Islamic State of Muslims. We should use torture on them. You gotta get information, whether it's false information or not. Yes, the experts say it doesn't work. You know what I have to say? 2 words: bullshit. It does work. Trust me, I've done my research, and I've looked at a few other things where information was extracted because of torture. I know we got the moron called Obama in Cuba with his buddy Raul Castro, and saying that it's time to bring communism into the United States of America and allow the thugs from Cuba to come into the United States of America to attack the United States of America right from Cuba, which is only 90 miles from our borders. I know people like Hillary Clinton say that we should keep the borders open. I don't agree 100% with building a wall, but I do agree with this one. Building a wall with manpower to keep the thugs, to keep the Islamic State of Muslims or out of the United States of America. That occult group's got to stay out no matter what. Some say, well, they're all some believe in being peaceful. Prove it. Prove it. Can they prove it through the Quran? No. Can they prove it through Sharia law? No. And here's why. According to Sharia law, if you have humanity, that is wrong. It's a wrong way for a Muslim male to think. A Muslim male is to think this way, according to Sharia law. that all women are slaves.